but it's also very ugly. To watch someone shoot a U.S. citizen, especially a woman, in the face,
right?
Where it's like, I'm not that guy. I don't know what he thought. And again, this is a guy who had almost been run over, but it just looked horrific to me. I mean, when people say it's justifiable because the car hit him, it seemed like she was kind of turning the car away.
Protests continue in Minneapolis after a woman was fatally shot by an ICE agent. State investigators were in the area speaking with residents.
Minnesota investigators are going door to door in Minneapolis at the scene of last week's deadly shooting by an ICE agent. The State Bureau of Criminal Apprehension says it's collecting its own evidence after the FBI took charge of the investigation.
The violence, the complete impunity with which these agents are operating, we need to make sure that these people are not masked. We need to make sure that there is real accountability in all of these investigations.
It comes as DHS doubles down on defending the officer who fatally shot 37-year-old Renee Good, arguing he acted in self-defense. The agency says it's deploying more federal officers to Minnesota to protect other ICE agents.
Was this done to be anti-government and to try to change the behavior of ICE? And if the answer is yes, then sure, that's domestic terrorism.
But it's prompting criticism from some Democratic lawmakers that the administration is trying to, quote, cover up the shooting. Language the White House says could lead to more violence against federal officers.
President Trump and the entire Trump administration stands firmly with the brave men and women of ICE.
As the investigation continues, protesters gather outside a federal building in Minneapolis demanding accountability. The Trump administration says it's made more than 2,000 immigration arrests in Minnesota since the operation began last month.
You good? Let me welcome all the ladies and gentlemen of the press. Thank you all for being here today. My name is Keith Ellison. I'm the Attorney General for the state of Minnesota, and I'm so honored to be joined and in partnership with the city of Minneapolis under the leadership of my friend Jacob Fry, and the city of St. Paul under the leadership of Mayor Herr, who is also a dear friend of many years. We've come together, and we're here to announce a lawsuit we're filing against the United States Department of Homeland Security to end the unlawful, unprecedented surge of the federal law enforcement agents into Minnesota. Because this has to stop. It just has to stop. We allege that the obvious targeting of Minnesota for our diversity, for our democracy, and our differences of opinion with the federal government is a violation of the Constitution and of federal law. We allege that the surge's reckless impact on our schools, on our local law enforcement, is a violation of the 10th Amendment and the sovereign laws and powers of the Constitution grants to states. We allege that DHS's use of excessive and lethal force, their warrantless, racist arrests, their targeting of our courts, our churches, houses of worship, and schools are a violation of the Administrative Procedures Act on arbitrary and capricious federal actions. And we ask that the courts will end the surge of thousands of DHS agents into Minnesota. We ask the courts to end the DHS unlawful behavior in our state, the intimidation, the threats, the violence. We ask the courts to end the tactics on our places of worship, our schools, our courts, our marketplaces, our hospitals, and even funeral homes. The deployment of thousands of armed, mass DHS agents to Minnesota has done our state serious harm. This is, in essence, a federal invasion of the Twin Cities and Minnesota, and it must stop. DHS agents have sown chaos and terror across the metropolitan area and in cities across the state of Minnesota. Schools have gone onto lockdown. Entire districts have had to cancel school for tens of thousands of students to ensure safety and offer online education because of the students' and the parents' fear of coming into the school. Local businesses are struggling. Revenues are down. And some retail stores, daycares, and restaurants have actually closed because people are afraid to go out and to do their shopping, whether they're immigrants or whether they are citizens of many generations. This surge has made us less safe. Thousands of poorly trained, aggressive, and armed agents of the state, of the federal government, have rolled into our communities, overwhelmed our local police departments, and law enforcement agencies should be focused on our public safety, but instead, many are dealing with the aftermath of DHS agents' chaos and violence. I want to thank our law enforcement officers for doing a tremendous job under very difficult circumstances. Not the people, but the federal government.